Okay, so I'm working in this game. I just download some models that I want to use. And what I wanted to show you during this process is how you can use like Kitbash 3D models to actually make changes just in the engine without having to leave the editor or something like that. Like here, for example, I'm just deleting the floor that I don't need. And like if you're wondering like which package I'm using, let me see my I got like some of them here. I'm like using this one. Like there is some discount here right now, and it has a lot of assets that I want to use for my project. Basically, I'm working in this game during my free time, so basically I'm just trying to just work on the game little by little, and because it's just me, I don't really need to follow some guidelines or break some rules or like anything like that. Nice, so it finished. Basically what I'm doing here is just duplicating my meshes so I can use them like in different situations. So now that I duplicate this one, it's just here. I don't need to change the original one. So I want to get rid of this part, and the easiest way is just to do a plain cut. And because this is a very heavy mesh, it's gonna take a while, but usually it doesn't. I mean, it's a really heavy mesh here, and it takes a lot of time to process, but at the end of the day, it worth the time, because like buying these models was like $13, and it's like you can just do the cleanup first, and it's not super expensive. That's why I like the Kitbash models. They don't come like game ready, but because you are using nanite, you don't really need them to be game ready anymore, because you can use all these polygons here and just apply some materials and you're pretty much good to go. Let's just move it a little bit more. Just so that we don't have like the ground, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Because in some situations, like, I don't really want to use this ground. Like, for example, in this case, I don't really need it. So I'm just gonna remove the ground here. And once I accept, it's gonna just take some time to process. I know that's the bad thing, but at the same time, it's pretty fast compared to just modeling this yourself, right? This one has a lot of polygons, so that's a lot of work actually. Okay, so now that I have this, I can just put it in the right folder here. Put it here, and we can just call it like no floor. Something like that. And I can just replace it here. Not this one. No floor here. I can just put it here. There you go. Now we don't have the floor. This is pretty much what we're looking for this part. And if you see, like, when you're moving, it's like super slow. That's because I don't have the nanite enabled. So I can just go here, enable nanite, apply changes, and it will just do some processing. Like, this is a very heavy mesh. It's like 1 million triangles. That's a lot, but I'm also saving memory because I won't be using normal masks for this. I'm going to reuse some textures. That's pretty much, I feel like that's the way you need to work, like in basically with a new generation of games. You have so much like so many, you have so many triangles now that you can use, that the workflows will change eventually. And myself, I'm like pretty old school. I start like in Unreal 3, not that old actually, but basically there have been a lot of change during the years. Like, for example, like back when I start, textures were usually for props like 512. Like, it's not that bad, to be honest. It's pretty good. And basically you need to bake everything and use a lot of techniques like tiling textures and everything, which we still use today, right? We're not really changing this, uh, honestly. Like, you don't really need to do these things anymore. I mean, things will change eventually. Like, there will be like new workflows, new ways of doing things, and there's no such thing as people will tell you like what to do. So basically, you will need to experiment with what you have and come up with the workflows yourself before somebody else does it for you. So uh, what I mean by that is that like you have these tools that, you know, nanite and everything, and they are great. Definitely this changed the workflows, even when, even if you think like you need to stick to your old workflows, um, you will still need to, you know, adapt to the changes now. Like everything is like super heavy now, like a lot of polygons and everything. It doesn't mean you need to use it, but it's there for a reason. It's not only for shows, it's also for workflow, because they realize there is a huge bottleneck between like 3D and basically going into the engine and everything. There is a lot of time wasted in these workflows. Um, a lot of people who are especially like old school, they want to, they, it's like they want to stick with what they know, and in many times when you do that, you're sacrificing a lot of potential new workflows that you may try. So for this one, for example, there may be a time where I don't want the ground. So what I will do is just to duplicate this one. And it will just create a new mesh for me. I don't need to go out of the engine or anything. Just put this one here, just like that. Now that you have this, you can just go ahead and use this tool to cut, which is what I've been using. I can flip the plane and I can just move it here to wherever I want. You can see that it's much easier to work with this, because it has much less polygons compared to the other one. So when I just click accept, you will have like a new mesh, and I didn't leave Unreal for, like, I never leave Unreal now. I can just do everything here. I can just change the pivot point. I don't need to go to Blender or anything like that. Okay, so now that I have this, first thing is I'm gonna check the pivot point is in the right place. I can just go here to my pivot point, put it to the bottom, accept, and it will put it like in the center of the mesh, in the middle, automatically, and I just don't need to do anything. It has a lot of presets. So now that I have this, I can just rename this, for example, SM Dark Tower 01. I don't know, it's probably with floor, something like that. I don't know if that makes sense, but and then what this one I can do, it's basically move it to to the one I have here. And now I can just put the same one, but body, no floor, something like that. And this one can be used body. So now that I have these kits, I can just use them in anywhere I want. Like for example, if I just want to have this open, I can even put it in the distance, like super big, and put it like here, for example. And I can also put this bell here. And let me just try to put it in the same scale here. I put it here. I can just put it here in position. I can just make it bigger like that, and I can just, or instead of making it bigger, I can just increase the size and just put it like this. And you can decrease the size if you don't want to see like the, yeah, something like that. I can just put it in the background or something like that. I can just duplicate this thing and just put it like this. So now when I play the game, you can see that I have some background there, which is really nice. And I can even enhance this with like more, you know, like fog or anything. Gonna load my coordinates here. I'm gonna load everything, and this part I'm just gonna move it here. I don't want to see it from that distance. This is like my invisible wall that I have for my game, just so that I have some shadows here. Otherwise it's just gonna look like that, so be aware of that. And also this part, like let's make sure it has nanite. Everything should have nanite. And if you want things to still look from distance, regardless of how far you are, because I'm using world partition, like these meshes that are far are gonna get hidden. So what I can do is just go to the hierarchical LODs. It should be some kind of world partition here. Let's just go world partition. And here in especially loaded, just click none, and just by doing that you have your meshes in the background already running. So you see how adding these things to the background can really help to enhance your scene, right? Just gonna move them like this just because I like them like that. I can just go back here and increase the size of this one, for example, like put it like here, and I can make sure that I can see this here. And what I have here is a silhouette that I have, that I'm breaking here my, you know, this blank canvas that without it is like, well, I have something here, but without it, it will be like this, which is super boring. So I'm moving this thing here. I'm actually adding silhouettes to. So now I can have something like this, and it will look much more interesting, right? So let's import the rest of the meshes, and let me see which things are using nanite and which ones are not. I can just go to mask. That's okay, my platforms are not using nanite. It's okay, I don't need it for now. An important thing is that this thing does, so that's a good thing. I'm gonna work on the background later, but for now I feel like I want to I want to increase the quality of my close background, let's just call it that way. So I will just duplicate these things here. And I can just, for example, go here and make it bigger. I can also have a roof here and use another pillar to support the roof, like this. And just by adding these meshes, you're adding a lot of complexity to your scene. You can just put a material here, and later on when you go to polish all your scene, you will have like a small little details here that you might want to add in the future that you don't really need to add now. I don't want to put like everything big, but just by doing that, I have it like a shadow here. So it's kind of working. So let's import the rest. I put this in the other screen. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, let's not combine the static meshes for now, and then when I will import it again. So let's just click import. Okay. Let's see. It looks like it's the same group. It is. I'm gonna delete them. I'm gonna import another one. Okay, so don't combine the meshes, or let's just combine, see what kind of uh, model we are importing, because like these Kitbash models come with a lot of different pieces, and to be honest, they're not really clean. That's why they are so cheap, and we need to do the cleanup. So when combining them, you're actually reducing a lot of headache. The problem with combining the meshes is that you don't have much flexibility because you can only use them one time. So one thing you can do is to separate the meshes and decide which parts you want to use later, and then use them as modular parts that you can reuse them in different situations, and not necessarily in this particular case. Like for example, you have a statue with some architecture. Maybe you want the statue to be another part of the set that you can reuse later, and then use the architecture individually in other parts as well. You don't need to combine them. So in this process, you need to separate the meshes yourself, because these models are really cheap, like $10 or something, but the quality is quite good. It's just that they are not really production ready. They lack a lot of technical stuff. But even with that downside, you still have like a lot of advantage when you buy this kind of thing. It will just save you a lot of time, and you can then use the modeling tools to actually like create something very unique. Okay, so it has a lot of materials here. And the reason I'm doing like live streams instead of like you know, just normal videos is because game development is like this. I have been like developing this for a while now, and it takes a lot of hours which it's very hard to put in a video. Like normally, if you know me from my tutorials in UNF games, you know that they are very carefully done, but behind the scenes, like this is what creating games look like. It's just a lot of waiting time, a lot of stuff that needs to be repeated over and over. That's just the way it is. While it loads, another package that I was considering to buy was this one. You know, this is kind of a mess when you like you know it, because there's not many shots, like individual assets. You know, it's gonna be super messy to clean up, but at the same time it's just like $11. So, and it's still it is still nice quality, but it's just you need some extra work. But you know, like doing it yourself is just take longer. Like what I did was just put Kitbash uh, architecture. And there is this user that is like having like a lot of models, and I kind of already know what his style looks like. And the reason I download his models is because I had something similar in my mind for this game. You can see it has a lot of models, like 8,000. That's a lot. And it has a lot of packages and everything. Like for example, this one. It's just very nice. You can use Kitbash and then use Nanite to just decorate your levels much faster. Hey, look at that. Let's see what this thing looked like. Okay. This doesn't look like it has a lot of polygons. I don't know why it's like this. I think what we can do is just to make some first of all, let's remove all the materials that this thing has, because it's just looks like it came with a lot of materials, and it's my bad because I click import textures by mistake. But this looks like a nice background, so I'm gonna still using it for background. That's a lot of things that need to be compiled. You see, this is why this Kitbash is only like 13 bucks compared to Kitbash 3D, where it's like 100 something dollars. It's already curated. They have the Unreal project, and they come with super nice high quality textures. The UVs are ready. They're pretty much ready to just plug and play and use them as they are. So in this sense, like, you will save a lot of more time when you use like Kitbash 3D. Like for example here. Like, look at that. Even with this, it's like they have a lot of detail. Medieval market. This is the latest one, like the Japanese one. Look at this. It's like a lot of props and everything that are already ready to use. This is very nice, and for the price, it may look like a lot of money, like $99, but think about how long it will take you to model just this thing, right? And when I was learning, I was just making these models by myself, because I felt like I wanted to do everything by myself, because I felt like a cheater when using other people's models, and also they didn't fit exactly the vision that I had for like the project I was making back then. And it was great. Doing this thing for yourself is a great learning experience. And if you want to land a job, you need to do this kind of stuff yourself. It's like they're not gonna do it for you uh, in a big company. You want to if you want to work for someone, then basically you need to specialize in something, which in this case might be modeling or texturing or anything like that. So you want to get good at making these kind of objects here. And these are not like super high quality, but they're pretty good actually. They're very clean, and they're production ready, which saves a lot of time. Um, they're just great. I mean, uh, they're great models too, especially because it comes with texturing. But a lot of things have changed since, you know, um, since I start like working for myself. I stopped doing everything by myself because one thing is that I already know how to do it. I practiced for a lot of years. Like, this is why I got the job at Ubisoft, is because I specialize in something. I specialize in environment art. I've done these things before, and to be honest, I don't want to make them anymore. And I just want to focus on creating like a small game. Let's click on this thing, and hopefully we can select it. This is a very heavy mesh. There you go. Delete. Let's just accept. Let's delete the cubes later, or I can try doing it now. Anyway, let's accept first. We're gonna deal with the cubes later. I want to optimize a little bit because it has a lot of triangles, and with nanite it will be fine, but I don't need much triangles because it's just gonna give me a lot of it's gonna have extra memory that I don't need, and this most likely will be used in this sense. I mean, I want to focus on the close-up part first, but I already imported this, so let's just use it, and then we can just reduce the polygons, maybe like 50% on 75. And most likely the stream is lagging because it's like these operations are quite heavy. And they're gonna take a while. We'll just keep browsing some models in the meanwhile. Most likely will be from the same guy because he has like 8,000 models. So the cool thing about the Kitbash models is that even if you don't find something exactly that you're looking for, you can still use this like in different ways. You never know uh, like what will be the use for each model. Like you can just cut the top of this model, for example, and just use it in like close up, like anything. I've seen like even games like Unreal Tournament. Like I remember when I was learning, it was like 2012. Uh, I I will open UDK, which was Unreal Engine 3, and I will check how they make Unreal Tournament. I still do it until today. Uh, Not the Unreal Engine 3, but I use the Unreal Engine 4 version, which they're building Unreal Tournament there. And you will just see how they make their own levels, and you will find things like a plate. Like instead of using it like a plate, they're using it for architecture in the background, like a building. They just scale it up like 20%, and it looks like a building from distance, and you won't be able to see the close-up details. And knowing this kind of thing, like it really confirmed, like back in the day, like, oh, I want to know how they are making these levels. It really confirms that you can use them in this way. And I mean, this is a ship game, right? They already made it. This one looks quite nice. But this guy just has terrible renders. They look super noisy. It seems like he just modeled something, like render, don't even finish render, just grab the screenshot and just put it there. But it has a lot of interesting shapes in his environments, like things like this, for example. I really like it. I'm gonna add it to the wish list. Things like this are like interesting shapes that you can use. Okay, let's go back here and let's do the simplify. And it's gonna take a while because it's a 3 million mesh. Like this guy, the textures are really bad, but the models are okay. And we don't really need the textures. This is quite interesting. The statues are nice too. They're not bad. And if you're making a game, especially like if you're solo or have like a team of just a few people, like you want to save as much as possible in time. And if you're alone, like just modeling this stuff just takes months. to have a production ready model, and having it like $50 or something like that, you just will save a lot of production time, which you don't have. Um, from what I've seen over the years is that indie games don't finish because they want to do everything themselves. They want to be very unique. And, you know, that's fine. But most indie games are not finished because they just took too long to finish. They run out of time. Imagine working in a game for like 2 years. A lot of things may have changed, and that's only 2 years. And if you do everything by yourself, it's gonna take a long time too. It's not gonna be fast. Like you're seeing here, this kind of things take a long time. This just keeps processing for several minutes, and that's just one model. That's just how production is. This one looks interesting. So I think a lot of indie games, a lot of people who are making indie games don't finish it because they don't leverage what they can do. And the ones who finish most of the time are the ones who, I don't know, they can use Unreal Marketplace, for example. They can use animations from Unreal Marketplace, which I'm using in my project. I'm not an animator. I've done a lot of things in game development. Animation is one of the things that I didn't want to really get good at it. I did practice quite a bit in the past, and I managed to get my own animations and running cycles and things like that. But it's not really my thing. I don't really enjoy it that much. I enjoy it more to make the models and the levels, and it used to be the characters, but now it just takes so long to make them. And right now I'm just focusing on creating the game, so blueprints is kind of like my main focus, if you will call it that way. Well, what happened here? Okay. Let's just accept, because this will get easier next time I do a simplifier modifier, because we're gonna simplify a little bit more. This one is really nice. Like, whenever you buy a model, like you don't think too much about the production quality, because these models come with a lot of issues, as you can see. The thing is, you're looking for shapes, and I feel like this is like really nice shapes here. Like, for example, you have something like this, and you have things like this. It's all about the shape, so think about how can you use these shapes in your game, and later on you can just drag and drop these pieces into your game. And think of it like there are brushes. Like you can see, like Photoshop brushes are like, some of them are like, I don't know, architecture brushes, and they just click and you have it, right? Or maybe just photos. It's just that now you can use 3D to do the same. So you just drag things here and there and just create something like relatively fast. Like these shapes are super interesting. For example, like you have like a kind of rounded cube here, very rounded, and then you have like this, and then you have like these tubes here, right? And then you have like a smaller pieces here. That's nice, that's design. And then you have like these pieces like this. I think he's actually doing a great job, even though it doesn't have like much quality there. um, it's actually pretty good. Nice. So now we have like less polygons. Let's take a look at. Let's open this and check how many triangles we have. So we still have like 3 million. That's a lot. No wonder it's taking so long. So we're gonna do the same. We're gonna simplify, and we're gonna go for another 50%, and then we're gonna do the same over and over. But yeah, these things are really nice. I don't want to buy them right now because I want to see how far I can go with the kit I just purchased. And when I feel like I'm stuck and I don't need any more models, I will just look for another one. But the good thing is, like, I'm already selecting what kind of things I may want to use. This is like super nice, super interesting design. You don't need to worry about the textures or anything because you will do that in Unreal. This is really, really nice. It's like very organic. It has a lot of curves. I always like this kind of style personally. I want to use it in this game. I think it's gonna look good. Okay, nice. How about let's go like 20% now. As long as it looks good from distance, we can still use it. Because apparently this one we cannot use in the, you know, we cannot use up close. It's too much details here. But this one we can use, which is nice. And we also have like the wings and everything separately, so that's nice. Meanwhile, this loads, you can still browse for some assets I might want to use in the future. Looks like I'm browsing like one guy's store, but I'm actually just browsing everyone. It's just that this guy has so many models. 8,000, that's crazy. He's basically dominating all the market here. This one looks really nice. Like, it has a lot of fantasy in his designs. This one could be, not so much for the statues, they look a little bit generic, but this dome here looks really nice. Okay, so let's accept. After doing so much work on this, for sure I'm gonna use this. No matter what, I'm gonna use this in the game. It's just so much work to do the cleanup. This is kind of interesting. Statues are always a nice way to add details to your levels. Like if you want more personality or things like that, you can just add statues. And you can see, like, here in here, if I remove this, like, it's very empty, it's very boring, but as soon as I have it, like, really nice. Okay, so now we have let's see how many triangles. 700,000. Not bad. I'm gonna keep it like that just for now. So what I'm gonna do now is just delete these cubes here. I don't really want them, so I'm just gonna select them. And I'm not surprised these are not connected. Let's just delete it. Okay. Okay, nice. This. Oh, I didn't delete this one. Let's do it again. Oh, this one is awesome. This one is really interesting. Okay, let's just delete this one. And then I'm gonna simplify it one last time. At least. Make sure everything is selected. Delete. Okay, nice. Let's accept. We can do another simplify on top of this one, just to make things more optimized. And apparently, it's using a lot of materials, so I really don't want to use them. Finally, some models that are not from this guy. Maybe they are. They're not. These ornaments, I don't need to... They're pretty handful, but I don't need to use them right now, because I already have the alphas and a tool using geometry scripting that I can generate these models automatically. So I don't really need it. Wow, that's a lot of details. It's a pity that such nice model here is such a bad screenshot. Like, even if you will grab it from like ZBrush and just take a screenshot, will look better. Let's just put 40. I think I'm already losing the silhouette here. I don't want that. Let's just put something like 40. And another thing I want to do is to remove the materials that came with it. It has like so many materials for nothing. I only need one because it's gonna be in the background, and most likely I'm gonna use like macro textures to texture this. This one is quite nice. I like it. I think we can stop browsing here. There you go. Nice. So what I can do is go here to material edit and look how many materials I have. It's ridiculous. I can just delete those, apply one, select all, and assign active material. and accept. And just by doing that, I'm removing all the materials here that I don't need, which are pretty heavy because 57 materials for one model is just too much. This is nice. Man, why you have such bad renders? Like, you can really... Like, I already bought one of these models from this guy, and I already confirmed the quality. Like, this is good enough for me now. Like, it works. So, I'm gonna use it. No problem. But, man, like, I really doubt at first, like, are the models gonna be, like, good enough? I don't expect them to be super high quality, but this is just like very risky. But now that I model, now that I got his models here, for me it's like nice. Look at this. I can just put it in the background here. Yeah, something like that, and I can just duplicate this thing and put it like this, for example, and make it bigger or smaller. Just put it like 90 degrees, something like that. And let's just see how... Wait, where is my player start? Here. Let's just play from here. Something's wrong with my player start. Oh, I think it's this thing here. It's blocking everything. Oh, it's not. To see what's going on here. That's very strange. I'm gonna restart the level. Actually, before restarting, I don't really need these things. So just delete. Like if you open here, you only have one material, which is good. And are you using nanite? It is, so it's super lightweight. And just go here and delete everything. Let's just open another project like this one, for example. Okay. There you go. For some reason, my player is starting in another place. Just gonna delete this one and put another one. Guess I would just have to imagine how my how my game will look like. Anyway, I can just remove these things. I don't want them anymore. Something like that in the background would be nice. Let's see where it's starting. It's starting here and it's falling. Let's increase the word partition size to do something like this. Very strange. Oh, I know. There is a big blocking volume here, which I believe is from this thing. So let's just remove the collision here. There you go. Okay, that's nice. Let's just fix the collision for these ones too. Usually when this kind of thing happens, just usually it's a collision. I see a lot of these problems when people look at my how to add a weapon for games. Like their character just moves and you know it's a very common issue where, like, for example, you put the sword and the sword has a collision. Now it will collide with your character and it will just have some weird behavior, which is what was happening before. How come I didn't notice? Okay, but now okay, let's just put things back to normal. I think it was like -100 and you had something like this. There you go. Okay. Let's see how our game looks like. Like, you can see how by adding like elements in the background, we already have like it's like a lot of details, you know. Like without the background it feels a little bit empty, and once you put it, it's like very nice. And we will have to deal with this kind of things. Like, we don't want obviously to check how the background looks from, you know, from distance, like, but that's very easy to fix, right? We're not gonna do that right now. Let's import another model. Hopefully this one's better. Let's rename it SM Dark Tower. background 01, and I guess this will be my set 02. I will just put it here. Now we will learn from our mistakes, and let's just put another one here. Okay, let's just put this one. Yeah, we won't have the vertex color. We can even override it, like to be black. It's a good idea because normally they come with white, and when you do that and then you apply like vertex colors and things like that, it's like pretty bad. So I will combine them, and then textures, import textures, materials, import materials, and that's it. Import and have faith. Oh no, crash. Let's try to import it one more time. We save. Yeah, we did. Let's import. Textures, don't import the textures, don't import the materials. Static meshes. Force all mesh type as a static mesh. Materials are off. Let's import. Okay. It crash. When things like that happen, maybe Blender is our friend. Let's see what happens with Blender now. Let's load our settings, otherwise we won't be able to do anything here. Apparently Blender getting a lot of objects. Delete everything and just I think we need to put FBX. I think we have FBX here. Let me just try to find where I put it. It's a OBJ. And just grab it here, I think. Oh, really? Let's see. I think it was this one. Put the name first. I think it was this one. Okay, nice. Okay. Um, let's just export this. Let's check the wireframe. It's very dense, actually. Maybe we can simplify it a little bit before going there. I'm not really a Blender user. I've been using mostly Macs for my whole life. Hmm. I think there's a remesh here. Yeah, there you go. Remesh. And maybe it's gonna take a while. Maybe it's not exactly what we're looking for because we're not exactly remeshing. Like remesh will break your UVs, but we don't really need them, so like doesn't matter. And while this thing does that, we can just import another one here. Let's just try something lighter. Let's just import. This one is much lighter. Let's see how it goes. This one's still thinking. Okay, nice. Um, let's try it out. Good thing we didn't import with materials. Oh, what happened? Look at this using voxels, which I don't want that. Let's just remove this. We do a quick search. Oh, it's decimate. Okay, much better. I guess you can put like... Let me put the wireframe mode first. To see if this makes any sense, like 0.1. While this one loads, and let's take a look at this. Nice. Okay, this one looks better. Has a lot of triangles, but I think it's something, yeah, we can use in the background, especially because of these things. Let me just try out if we can actually put it like... in the mat in here. For example, let me just duplicate some of this stuff. Try it here. You can just try to. You can always divide things like this. Let's just put like 10. You could put it here actually, and you will be able to get away with this. I don't know. Let's just play it, but let's just duplicate to see how it looks like with like in another angle. Like here, for example, like I don't really notice it's like a city when it's like facing the other direction. Yeah, I don't think it's something I will use for close-up, so I will just simplify it. So first things first, let's go here to modeling, and then we can just simplify here. Let's see what this thing is doing. Okay. Okay, looks like it has much less polygons. I guess we can apply. Let's see what Unreal is doing. Let's see who's faster, Blender or Unreal. Export as OBJ. Just put it like here. Kitbash models. Just call it like Blender Power 01. Export. There you go. Meanwhile, Unreal is still loading. We can just import another one. I guess we can try. I guess we can try this one. Or let's start with the small ones. Okay. This one's nice. Looks like we can use it. Not so many polygons, I think. Try to see another one. Oh, okay, this one's already finished. Okay, nice. Yeah, we can just leave it like that. 50% looks enough. Try another one. Guess this one, like Tower 5. It's the same one as the other one. But they're not. They're definitely not the same, but they're very similar. It's like the same silhouette. This thing I'm not interested in. But I think I can use a Tower 5 instead of the other one. Let's see this one. This one should be bigger. Okay, so now this kind of thing, we want to do a little bit of work here because we want to reuse some of this to. Okay, nice. Actually, it's very low quality. It will only work for distance, not really from up close. which is okay. I mean, see the polygons. Yeah, not really gonna work from distance. I guess if you import it into Unreal, it will have like a lot of different parts. But we can just separate these parts by ourselves in Unreal instead of doing it here. Let me see if I can go here to edit mode. I don't know if that's a good idea. This has a lot of polygons. And just double click here. Let me just click the face. And then double click here. Press A. I don't think they're connected. Anyway, I don't want to do this kind of operation here. I think Unreal should be better, but it's good to know this model is like this. Let's just try another one. I think it's the same one. Yeah, this one we're gonna use for sure. Okay. We're gonna use this one yet. Check Unreal. Okay. Check how many polygons this has. Good enough. We're gonna enable the nanite. And then we're gonna change the pivot point. It looks like the UVs of this one are not quite good. We can change it later. But a pity. I remember we had more objects here. Let's see. Let's try this one. Okay, this one we already tried. Try another one. Tower 8. Okay, Tower 8 looks like a... Tower 8 looks really nice, so we're gonna have to deal with Tower 8 too. Okay, nice. So, this one will be my... I don't know if this one only be used for background. For now, it will be used for background. Okay. We might set 0.3. Doesn't make much sense. I can just move this one here. Or maybe just background. Move all of this here. So that I know that it's a background list. Which one was it? Sorry. This one was the Tower 8. Tower 8 is a must. We're gonna use it. So let's import here. No textures, no materials. Import. And first we will combine them to have like this one, and then we are gonna separate them by importing again, but this time we're gonna we're gonna put them separately because these statues are really nice. We can use them in many different ways. Okay, so let's try it out. Yeah, the sword is an easy fix. Uh, you can just, I can just rotate it and this kind of stuff. That's what I was trying to do at first. That was my first idea. But yeah, the way you do it is the way is the easiest way. Actually, there are many ways you can change the sword. I was thinking like if that doesn't work, like I can just you know, if that doesn't work, I can just bend the sword like a scimitar or something like that. Oh, it's nice. Nice to meet you. I also love to connect with other indie devs. I'm a huge advocate of indie game development. It's like my... I feel they're gonna change the industry. Especially now they have more tools. If you compare like 10 years ago, it was like... Man, they are going against the tide. But now, with all these tools and everything, you can just create a game really fast. Okay, let's simplify this. I really like this silhouette here. Like, it really does help. Okay, let's accept. I make it like a Castlevania type of game or Metroidvania. Uh, it's like a hack and slash RPG. I just started this like a few weeks ago, so I can just play here to show you like how it looks like. Like I just started decorating the environment like yesterday, so there are a lot of things that I need to do. I just felt a little bit boring of doing the animations and the combos. Like I can charge attacks and do something like this, or do that, you know, do the combos and do the dash. I have a bunch of combos I can use, but I don't want to add more until I have more like the enemies and the obstacles. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what I'm fighting against with. Okay, let's do the classic plain cut. And now it's much faster because that's why I reduced the number of polygons. It's quite fast, to be honest, even though it's relatively slow. Working with this amount of polygons in Unreal is a bit hard. See? apparently it's okay. So let's accept. Hey, nice to meet you, Reloads. What kind of game are you making? That's nice, you pumping the chat, because mainly the that's the main reason I was doing this live stream, because doing this part of the game dev is quite boring. uh, I don't really enjoy it that much, but you know, it's part of the job. Now let's see how this looks like. I will have one version with this and another version without this, so it's nice. I will just go to modeling and change the pivot point. Not the pivot point, sorry. Make the transform. I don't want it too big. Oh, that's nice. Devil May Cry has a nice combo system. It's possible. It's just a lot of polishing, a lot of testing. But making it like PvP, like making it online, it's gonna be hard, I guess. Maybe I will do this one online. I don't know. Like, I know it's like need to plan from the beginning. But I'm kind of discovering what type of game I want as I do it. I don't have much clear idea of what it will make it special. I hope I discover it little by little. Do you have like a channel where you're making the game? Is it the same one? Looks good enough. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one here. And now this one will be my SM Arc Tower. I don't remember what I put here. Oh, okay. I guess I will just call this Tower 02. And this one will be the same, but no ground. I'm gonna just apply nanite to both of them. Okay. Nanite enable. And also, does it has collision? Oh, it does have. Oh, it doesn't. And white has two UV channels. I guess it's because of the light map. Even if it was the light map, I don't think it's you don't need the light map UVs. Now Unreal has really nice collision. They have improved it, although I never saw that they announce it like, oh, we have improved the convex decomposition system that they had inside. But every time I try it, especially after Unreal 5, it has become like super accurate and faster compared to the first versions. Like before, we didn't have this kind of thing. It wasn't that good. We had to make the collision manually in our in our 3D package. So it is nice. It is nice that you know, I feel like I don't need to go out of the engine so often now. Look at this, super nice. And I can just put it closer here. Something like that. Let's see how it looks like. Yeah, like if I put it close, it's really nice. What if I rotate this? It's also nice. You can just put it here. And let's just see how it looks with the Not bad. Kind of like the noise of this brick, but the pattern is it's a little bit repetitive. So I'm just gonna put this thing for now. I'm gonna put them here and here. Yeah, they all have UV, so I don't really need to worry about this. Actually, I'm gonna just put it here. I'm gonna do the same here. And later on, I will do more details. Like I can just grab this wing and put like gold here. Like actually, can try now. And just try one more time. Like the UVs are okay here. It's okay for tiling textures. Like it's not really something you want to do for it all connected. Okay. Oh, nice. So I can just. Okay. Nice. We can try it out. What about this one? Yeah, we can try to have like different materials here. Like for example, this one I can just go here to my material editor, and I can just put another material on top. This will make it look much more interesting. Like I can just put another material, and I can put for now like the same one, just for now. I can put the same one here. And where else can you put it? Like, if you want to put it here, not really. Here you could try, but here for sure. You can select all of those, and let me just deselect this one, and let me just put this one here. You could try to make this one like this, or yeah, maybe this one's. So I can just assign active material. I will just put this one, and that's it. So it looks like nothing has changed, but now I can try to, you know, put some bronze here. Maybe I can just grab something from Megascans. I don't want like something super smooth. I will look for something rough. And I don't think I need this thing anymore. Like this one, I will add it later, not now. Kind of boring of doing the same stuff. Okay, so now what I can do is just let me grab another one. Let's see. Oh, it's just the same. All of metal. It's the same. Let me just duplicate this one and put some gold here. I can just put it here. You can see the effect it has. So I can just change this material to something like this. And let's just check the values here. I can just use pure ref, and with algae I can check the values. Like the values are pretty similar, which is something good because you don't want them to be like super different. Otherwise it's gonna grab too much the attention. Another thing is like you want to change the roughness, like maybe 0.2. This is very smooth. I don't really like it that much, but okay, for now. It's nice to have that color variation. And then what you can do is just change the brightness to, I put 1, maybe a little bit too much. Maybe put something like 0.2. And maybe that's too much difference. Like if I go here and then I try to look for the values, it's a little bit darker. Like this kind of thing is more important at first. Like you see, it's too much contrast here. Because later on you can just work on the details and it will just work just fine. You can think about those things later. But for now I like the bricks and everything. It's okay. I can just put this thing here. And let's take a look at how it looks with the game. Hello, Young Ming. Oh, that's good. You can share with me your progress. I'm curious to see how's the system working for you. Okay, like it's nice, but the materials are not really well that attractive to me. What I could do is to make them like darker. Like for example, this one is light. I can just duplicate this one and put like dark. Let me just put this one here. Let's just put it darker, just so that we have like different values in our game. So let's put like 0.2 maybe? Is that too much? Maybe 0.15. Now when we take a look at the albedo, you can see what's going on here. Something like this maybe. And just by doing that, you're already adding more color variation to your scene. And actually, I could just put the same material in the swords. What I'm looking is for value variation. I can just put the same here and assign active material. And just put the dark. There you go, much better. So I can just accept. I feel like the bronze one was too much detail. Take a look at how this looks like now. You see, uh, without this, all the values are like the same. But with this, we're already adding more variation, which is nice. Oh, that's nice. Maybe I can check a few tutorials, because what I was thinking was to make this game like co-op. I like co-op games. I play a lot of them, and I really like the idea that this kind of Castlevania game to be like multiplayer, kind of like old school. Uh, like I don't know if you play like Super Nintendo games, like back in the days, like Power Rangers and this kind of games had like a co-op mode, kind of like the same, where you need to wait for the other guy to go to continue exploring. Uh, Something like that. Look at this, looks much nicer just by changing the values. I'm not even putting like some complex materials or anything. That's nice. I like it. I will do the same here. I would love to make it online. Maybe I can check it out and do some tests. Because I really like the idea of making this game like more co-op. Kind of like it, but maybe it's a little bit too much. Let's go back to the previous material. Yeah, let's just keep it like that. And accept, and then all my meshes will be updated. Okay, nice. No, these columns here I don't like. So let's just put them like this, and we could try to just move this one a little bit like this and put something like that here. I don't know if it's a good idea to put this one here. Maybe it's a little bit too much. But let's see. Maybe I can just put this one here. And this one I can just duplicate. Something like that. I don't like these columns that much. Maybe I will change it for another one. And definitely this color needs to go away. So what I'm gonna do is choose change the megascans. Maybe it's too much, but let's see. Let's just try it like that, because maybe it is balanced, or maybe it's just the size of it that I don't really like. Okay. I really like this. I can having too much here, but I just remove this one and just have it like that. And what you could do to make it even more interesting is like having like a spotlight here and put it like this. And you can put it like inversed follow. And just rotate it and try to play with the intensity a little bit. Maybe I could try to do something like this. Yeah, something like that could work. So now I can just use a temperature. Put something like this. I'm not really concerned with the colors right now. I just like this design that comes here, where you just do something like this, right? Like you separate these two into two pieces. That's one of the things that it's doing here. And the other one is that it's popping out all these details that only come with nanite. So later on I can justify this slide by putting some objects here and things like that. So now that I have the intensity, I can just now that I have my design, I can just do something like this, very subtle. I don't need to be super string here. Now you will have something like very interesting. And what you can do now is just do the same here. Something like that. Now when you play, now this looks much more interesting. It's just by adding some lights there, but later on, like, we don't really want to focus on this right now. I felt it was just like a nice idea to put them here like this. I can just increase the intensity and play with the design. Like, for example, here maybe the light is coming from here, and I can just increase the radius, and now I can just remove this, of something like this. And for example, like, I can put 10 or 50. You can put something like that, and it will just increase the, even if I put something like 50, it will pop up these highlights here, which are really nice. So I can just go to 500 if I want, or just something like that. And later on we can play with the colors and everything. So now I can just go back here and just put this thing here. I can decrease the intensity to have something like that, or more subtle. And let me just check the lining complexity. It's okay. It's okay. I've seen worse. So, and I can reduce it by reducing the radius here by only lining like this part, which is fine. Here I can also like put it like here, like more intriguing. So now I can just go here, and you can see the lights are already making a lot of nice details to the meshes here, and we don't even are adding like texture detail or things like that. I mean, this is just the early beginning of the game, and it already, as you can see, like here it pops out a lot of details here that I don't really see them if I don't have lights on, which is good. It's nice to have. Okay, let's just try to put some details here. I really like this silhouette, but I don't like this part here. So let's just try to get something. Let's get our ornament generator, and let's go to. There you go. Need to grab a texture here, and I have a bunch I download from ArtStation. Let me see which one could work out well here. Like maybe this one. And you don't see anything because the displacement magnitude should be like 10, and the tessellation level like 10 too. Okay, so maybe you can even meet a little bit more or something like that. And the number of iterations, if I put like 10, looks like a nice number. Yeah, 20 is like popping out. So if I move this here, like just by testing out, like I can have some kind of wall there. That can work. Let's try with another one. Maybe this one. Not this one. Just try perhaps this one. But this one looks like it could work. Let's just change the display's magnitude to 10. You know what? Let's just go for this. I'm gonna create. So far, I've been experimenting with this geometry scripting here. So I'm gonna grab this mesh here, and I'm gonna put it here. And now I'm gonna call my function to make static mesh. And what this will do is just to create a static mesh. This is a dynamic mesh, so you can see when I move it, it's like really slow because it's processing. But this one is just static mesh, so it's much faster. A couple of things I will do is just change the rotation and do something like this. Okay, that's one thing. And now that I have this, I can just rename this. Like I can put it like SM ornament 02. And I believe I have some kind of folder here. Yeah, I have it here, like proof. There you go. That's the 02 ornament. And now what I can do is just make rotation and scale. And great. Let me just delete this one, and while putting the snapping tool here, I can just grab this thing here. And I can just put it like here. And what I can do actually is use the pattern tool that I have here. And by default it's gonna do something like this. Let me just put them like this and then increase like the number of meshes that you may want to have. Something like this maybe looks okay to me, so I can just accept. And I can use either as separate actors, or this will be like a dynamic mesh. So every change I do to this thing, it will affect here. Like for example, I can just change this texture here or another one. Let's just say this one, something like that. And what I can do is to convert to static mesh. And now you will see that all of them are changing. The problem is that the pivot point is not really the same. That's the issue. So just keep that in mind. It will change the pivot point. Let's go back. But it's a nice way just, you know, add more detail. So what I can do now is just go here and do the pattern again. Just move it a little bit and just decrease the distance here. Really, I don't want to put it in the center. I want to put it just like here. Actually, I shouldn't do this. I'm gonna fix this now. I just move this like 700, or I just try it like this. Yeah, something like that. And now what I can do is just reduce the count until I have something like 9. Looks like a decent number. Looks like everything is connected here. So I will just accept. Okay, and now this one I will delete. I will put it again here. And this time I want to put it like this. Something like that. And now I'm gonna go to the pattern, and I'm not gonna put center, which means it will start from here, which is what I want. Now I'm gonna put a count to gonna change this to less, like 700, 850, 660. 880, 875, something like that. And the size looks okay. Around like 8, put 7. 8 looks like a nice number, nice even number, so let's accept. Now, it's great. Now this is the static mesh actor, and actually I can just change it. Like, I believe I can do something like this, and it will change everything, or it doesn't. Oh, it just changed this one. It doesn't matter. But this is like a dynamic actor. So if I change this one, for example, I can just go to poly edit and just go to the sculpt to do something like crazy, like something like this. I can just accept and everything will be updated here, which is nice. If you delete this, nothing will happen, so I feel I will just leave it like that, just to have something there. Now that I think about it, like the pattern is not really the most pretty thing, but you know, it works. So I can just rotate this thing here. And I can do the same here, adding more details to places where maybe I will feel like I won't see them, but you know, they are there. And here I can just move them like this. There you go. Now I have some nice patterns. I could, like, just for now, do something like that. And now I have like a small balcony. I will try to get rid of these things. Like, for example, I can just, let's just try to put a column here. I don't really feel very good about the columns that came here. I feel like they can be better. I can just put 0.1. And let's just change the pivot point. And make the transform. And let's just put this to, let's just put the material we had here. And let's put some UVs here. Very easy. And just go to project, put the box, check here, you're done. And the scale, you can change it if you want, like 0.1 for each brick. It's a little bit too much. 0.5, 0.4. Just there you go. I have like nice bricks here. Or you can just go here and I just put something like this. The same can be done here. Actually, it's working quite well. Like this one, we can just put it here. Now we can do the same here. The idea is not to have these sharp edges in our model. Otherwise, it's gonna look very CG. Just leave it like that, nobody cares. Okay, that's better. I can do the same here. I can just go and go here and, you know, just do the pattern again. This time I'm gonna go to the Z-axis. I'm gonna increase the distance here, like something like that. Okay, and now I can increase the count until I have something like this. There you go. like 15 looks like enough. But now we have like decent silhouette here in the wall, like much better if you ask me. Just move it along here. There you go, something like that, much better. And just by doing that, you know, everything has nicer. Everything looks much nicer. Let's just deal with the background and call it a day. Like the background, let's check the UVs. It's very simple. The background, I want it to be like darker, so I'm gonna use the dark one here. I'm gonna go here and put dark. There you go. And I have the color. And check this is really what I want. This one I can put like the dark. Actually, I can just leave it like that. Decorative stone. And then this one. Yeah, it's okay. This one don't need UVs. This one does. And this one definitely does. Oh, this one doesn't. Nice, so we can just focus on this one. And just do a project here. Put 1, 2 by 2, 5 by 5, 8 by 8. Doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, nice. Play our game. Nice. I think I'm gonna just leave it there. If you want to follow more updates about this game, just follow the channel for more, and I will continue to add more things in the future whenever I work on this one. That's it. Bye.